reach out and say, last night, the coaching session that we got from Nate, it's one thing to be a mentee personal, but it's great to expand your net, expand your web, to allow your team to get influenced by that. I understood that if I didn't share with my team the experience that I got, I'm being selfish and my team is not going to grow. My leadership lid has been lifted and my team has to be lifted along with me. So Nate, we appreciate everything you've done for us. Continue to be a crusader, guys, and God bless. Whatever he brings to us, he's born in open arms. But Nate and I, we met back in June of last year, of 2012. I'm sorry, 2013. Gosh, time's already flying by. But you know, he and I, we approached him. He was sitting down. He was talking to a lady, and I said, "Oh, this guy's sharp, man. He's sharp. I'm sharp. I'm about to get this guy." And prospecting me, shot me down. He says, "What multi-level marketing company are you part of?" I'm not part of multi-level marketing. I'm part of Primerica. And you know, he and I, we've had a debate about that. But ever since then, I reached out to him on a July afternoon. Gosh, I don't know the exact date, but we met at a car wash. I saw him go live on a three-way call. I didn't know what I was going to. He brought me down. He said, "Hey, what's your pen and paper?" I was like, "Okay, let me go grab my pen and paper again." And I saw him go live. He was editing. He was doing a review for a book. I said, "Wow, who's this guy? I don't know who he is." But the more and more we've got to know Nate, he's extended his hand with nothing. He's not asking for anything in return, which is a servant leader. That's what he is. He comes here just to give us advice and to kind of just extend a little bit more about what he's done. Nate and I, we've sat down for numerous of hours. We actually had an amazing ride down to Miami, and I appreciate that. Gosh, we spent at least 20 hours that day. That day was an amazing day. And from there, I really got to pick his brain because he's not a network marketer, guys. If you want to talk about someone that's a business individual, someone that wants to help other people succeed by creating multiple streams of income, because Lindsay, David, Vince, Annie, Brad, Stephanie, myself, and Nate, we all have multiple abilities, right? He just wants to help us use the vehicle and our abilities to help make sure it's being done efficiently. And that's the value that I've gotten ever since almost been a year. My leadership lid has increased just based off of reaching out to somebody who can help us pull us up. Does that make sense? Right. And I'd love to kind of get a little bit of time with him. He'll share with you a little bit about his story. He's a very personal guy. He comes here with no motive. He comes here with just to pour out his heart. But again, Nate, I appreciate everything that you've done. So if you want to come and listen to him, what's up, brother?
Well, as a disclaimer, I will tell you that there is an expectation. And the expectation is that if you will lend me your ear, then I'll give you my heart. If you'll lend me your ear, I'll give you my heart. My expectation is that when I make deposits into your life, that I'm doing so in fertile ground. Now I've realized that the seed that I have, and you got to think about it from the standpoint of being a farmer, you know when you go purchase seed, you have an expectation that when you plant it and you do the things you're supposed to do with it, that there's going to be something that's going to produce for it, right? Right. And so I take the act of being a mentor being very, very important, and I don't call everyone a mentee. You know, I just posted something on my wall yesterday when I talked about the Pareto principle. Are you familiar with that?
Yes.
Exactly. And one thing about that is that you want to give your best to your best. You want to give your best to your best. So if I spend time with someone, I'm giving someone part of my 1,440 minutes per day because they are someone that I feel has earned by demonstration that they deserve that time. Because in doing so, I'm expecting to see some type of result. And what makes me a little bit different, as someone asked me earlier about, you know, who has been my mentors, and I said that my mentors have been books. And that mentorship began in 1996, the week that I graduated from West Point, when I was introduced to the world.
And what I really got out of last night was that I want to be a value giver, not a value taker. And I want to make sure that I have enough value inside of me. Whenever I meet someone, I can give as much value to that person as I can. And it was really appreciating to see someone like you, Nate, who was able to embody that. So looking at you as an example was really awesome for me to see. I want to kind of use your example.
Took that experience, the experience of walking into a room full of happy people. You know, happy people. Right? Yeah. Excited Jacksonville people, right? Well, I say that because if you think about the movie, do you remember the movie Pursuit of Happiness?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, and after Will had asked the question of what do you do and how do you do it, and the guy told him I'm a stockbroker, and he says, oh, I guess you got to go to college for that, and he says, no, not really, you got to be good with people and good with numbers. Yeah. And he gave him that real sound advice, and then from there, Will let the guy go, and he looked back, and he saw the people walking down the stairs in slow motion, and he said, they all look so damn happy.
Yeah.
Why can't I feel like that? And I want to tell you, that's the experience that I gained because I'd never been exposed to that type of world. And so from that point on, you know, I took away some valuable lessons, some principles that I was able to then apply to my life overall. And as a result of applying it to my life, to those things that I was passionate about, I was able to become a millionaire by the age of 32. And so what I give people is that I don't care what you do. Find something that will give you an environment that will allow you to grow. Find something that will give you an environment where you're around other people that have a desire for more out of life. Because I'll tell you that the American dream of financial freedom is alive and well. And whatever that may mean to you, or to you, you can have it if you'll simply invest the time to learn how to get it. Mm. And so my passion for pouring out in mentorship is because I made a commitment that I would be the mentor that I've desired in my life. And so my personal mission is to live each day principle-centered based upon biblical teachings and to be a person of value and positive influence in the lives of the people within my circle of influence. To be a person of value and positive influence. Value and positive influence. And I want you to hold on to those things, value and positive influence, because if you can be of value to people, then you're giving them something much more to hold on to. If you go into every situation with the desire that you want to add to people as opposed to take away from people, then you're going to separate yourself out. Doesn't that make sense?
Yes.
Absolutely. And then on a follow-on to that, my goal is to create a $10 million endowment fund to foster personal growth and development and entrepreneurship. Why is that? Because I have accomplished some things that many people are aspiring for. I've graduated from a Tier 1 school, West Point, with a degree in engineering and sociology. I went on and did my MBA from George Washington University and financial planning from Georgetown University. But why is it that I'm able to say that the thing that's had the greatest impact on my life has been books and personal growth and development and CDs and being around successful people? What type of breakthrough can I provide by giving people that mission, that message, to all those people that may not be equipped or have a desire to go to college? Mm. How much powerful is that someone with my background can actually say, I have that stuff, but yet I'm telling you, I want to know what you desire so I can determine if I can give you the right direction about lifestyle design as opposed to a career that you may not have control over. Big difference, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, big difference. And so that's where my heart's at, and that's where the Voice of More campaign, which I just now started, to focus just on Generation Y to focus on personal growth and entrepreneurship. Because I want to basically say, here's the blueprint. Here's what I did, and in turn, teach you those principles so that you can apply it to whatever it is that you're doing. And as I do that, I have a desire to say, I'm not going to take you away from the things that you desire, but I'm going to teach you how to think versus what to think. I want to equip you to be a professional so that if you do decide to do something else, you realize that the skills that you've developed, you can actually transfer those skills to any and everything that you desire. Let this be a world-class education like it was for me. Get the habit of developing how to learn so that you make that a lifestyle choice. Not like most people that go to school and then after school is done, they're done. Right? That's right. That's right. And if you do it around other people that are like-minded, then there's nothing that you can't accomplish. So I'm excited to have the relationship that I have with Miguel and to see what he's doing with the Crusaders and simply avail myself to, to depositing into him. Because see, my loyalty is to Miguel. My loyalty is to the people that are loyal to me. Those are where my alliances are, because people do business with people. They don't do business with companies. People do business with people. It's your relationships. And you got to honor your relationships. And the way that you honor your relationships is realize that your job is to educate and inform, give people an opportunity, and what they do with that opportunity is for them to decide what to do. And your job is to continue to develop and continue to go down that follow-up process so that in turn you can give them as much information as they need to eventually come to the light. The red pill or the blue pill. Right? And so to that end,
with Primerica Financial Services, and we're here to talk about the time that we got with Nate Scott last night. It was absolutely phenomenal. Just the key points that he gave us about always adding to your list, always following up, always being on presentations, whether it's with a paper, whether it's just showing whether it's just being in front of somebody so they get to like you, know you, and then eventually trust you. Then you can go into expanding to what you want to say with them.
And personally, what I got of it is just all these little nuggets about extras. Just no more excuses. He gave me more nuggets about how to be a better leader for my team and for myself personally. And it just made me look at things more different now. It's just more positive. He's just awesome last night. So it was phenomenal. And I absolutely loved it. So thank you again, Nate. I appreciate it a lot. And you're awesome. Keep it up.
4 things to be successful in any business. Number one is you got to always be adding to your list.
Yes.
Always be adding to your list. I shot a video today. I posted it out when I'm just out at the park with my kids. My daughter wanted ice cream, so I went over to the ice cream shop, and in turn, we bought the ice cream, and the ice cream man gave me his business card. And that was an invitation to me, because I said, well, let me ask you a question. Do you keep your options open? And in turn, he said, yes. I said, well, let me tell you, I have a desire to feed 1,000 kids, and for every 10 pounds people lose or muscle they gain, we make a donation to a child at risk of overweight or obese. I believe that I can help you to grow your ice cream business by showing you how to convert my mission into a public relations opportunity. How does that sound to you? I gave value. You see the difference? I didn't try to take, I said, I see what you're doing already. I'm not trying to change what you're doing. I want to add value to what you're doing in collaboration with what I'm doing.
That's really good.
Let me grow your current income base doing what you already are doing. And oh, by the way, if you're open to it, I'll show you how you can add an additional stream of income by being in relationship with me. And so we did a quick video, and so always add to your list.
And this is what I actually got out of our personal coaching session with Nate Scott. Is just to be a servant to other people. Instead of trying to figure out what I can get from somebody, instead of trying to figure out how I can actually give unto somebody, whether that's through mentorship, just a positive influence, or really just kind of sowing a seed, I realized that that's something I'm going to improve on, and it really is because of Nate Scott. He is a master at self-improvement through books, through mentorship, and being able to kind of latch on to somebody like Nate is just something that I'm really looking forward to. I appreciate you spending the hour and a half with us, Nate, and really looking forward to, again, just learning some more from you. Thank you so much.
Number 2 thing is always be setting appointments for presentations or making presentations. Setting appointments for presentations or making presentations. See, professionals set appointments. Professionals set appointments. Professionals set appointments. Doctors set appointments. Lawyers set appointments. Financial advisors set appointments. The school principal has an appointment book, right? So tonight is exciting because you guys are doing the right activity. You came here with your inventory list, i.e. your people to make contact with, and then you were calling to make an invite to something that was already identified, and you're offering them 2 time slots. Isn't that right? Yeah. Well, along those same lines, what I've done is I've set up a webinar system that's on autopilot every 2 hours, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, where I'm teaching people simply to reach out to people, ask them, have they heard about XYZ, and in turn, go there and set an appointment. So you guys are doing the right things, because if you can book up your appointment book, now you know how your day is going to run. And so if you're on a part-time basis or a full-time basis, it doesn't matter, because you know what activity to do within a block frame of time.
Yes.
If you tell me you got only 5 minutes a day, no problem. I can tell you all you got to do in that 5 minutes is focus on make calls. Make calls and set appointments. How long was it going to take you to make a phone call to ask someone if they're available? Right. So if you just made a habit of just 5 minutes a day making 5 phone calls for the potential of making appointments, 5 times 5 is 25. Well, heck, if you get 5 appointments set out of that, 5 times 4 is 20 for the month.
Yep. It's one of what most people do.
Isn't that true?
Absolutely, yeah.
So it's about focused effort. Focused effort. Focused effort. It's not that you don't have enough time. It's just that when we're doing things, we're doing this, and we're multitasking. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're doing all this stuff. We're not laser focused during the time in which we're doing. So one way you can actually enhance that and give yourself an opportunity to do that is get you a timer.
Yeah.
Which your cell phone has one. Set the clock for 5 minutes and set it down and say, okay, I'm doing this for 5 minutes, so when the alarm goes off, okay, I've done my activity for today, if that's what I want to do.
That's good.
Does that work?
Yes.
Okay, so number 1 is adding to your list.
Always.
Number 2 is setting appointments for presentations and making presentations. A presentation happens anytime you walk into a room. Starts off with the way you look. Your smile is a presentation. You don't have to think about a presentation has to be your tool. That might not even be necessary. That might be too early in the process if you're trying to develop a relationship with someone.
Yep, right.
A presentation might be just inviting someone over to watch the game, to come hang out, because they're going to experience something about you, and what the objective is for them to get them to know, like, and trust you. So you make that initial presentation that might lead to you asking them if they're open. It may lead to you making an offering to them. It doesn't require you to jump on them right away and then blow them out the water when you haven't even cultivated enough of rapport to get to that point.
That's good.
Right?
That's good.
And see, people are always watching you, so the more you give people an opportunity to see you, then the more you get the opportunity for them to be attracted to you and ask you versus you having to tell them. You see what I'm saying? So number 3, so now we've got number 1, we said we want to be adding to the list. Number 2, we want to be saying
is that he brings value to other people's lives that already to their lives. He doesn't try to add himself. He adds himself in a different perspective. He says, I'm going to help your life how it is. I don't want to change who you are or what you're doing. I just want to help you grow as a person. And that's what I found most valuable, because that's how I think I need to see other people's lives as well.
Everything that Nate brings to the table is absolutely perfect. He tries to add to your life what is already existing there, in terms of business, life, pleasure, family, friends, and everything.
Professionals make recommendations. You've got to be able to confidently look at someone in their eyes and tell them exactly what the next step is. Whatever that next step is. Maybe the next step is, I encourage you to come out here after this one-on-one. The next step would be, I recommend that you come out for our next live meeting. The recommendation might be, say, I recommend that you go ahead and buy this particular policy.
Yeah.
The recommendation might be that you meet with my senior VP. The recommendation could be, hey, you know what? You need to meet my mentor. See, all those things give you an opportunity to take them down the funnel. It obviously takes someone 3 to 7 touches before they actually get to a yes decision. So understand and respect the process. It's a sowing and reap process. So now once you've made a definitive recommendation, the last piece is you got to follow up. The money's in the follow-up. Follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up. And understand, and as I was just now reading something that says that it takes someone will generally say 4 no's before they'll even get to the yes.
Yep.
So that means many times people quit before they get to the point where they can actually say yes. So with that said, understand that we have this pathway to success to be wrong. What we have is, we have us in the middle, we have success that way, we have failure that way. We'll go this way to failure, we'll hit it, and then we'll try to turn back around and go this way. But that's wrong. The right thing is this. You have you here, you have failure here, you have success here. Failure is en route to success.
That's good.
Failure is en route to success. It's not the opposite direction of success, as we are oftentimes taught to believe. And that, my friends, if you understand that, then what happens is you will start to increase your rate of failure. So number one is what?
Always be adding to your list.
Number two is? Number three is?
Predictive recommendations.
And number four?
Follow up.
And there you have it. I promise you, if you just implement and keep that at top of mind, what it looks like to mind your own business, then what happens is, as you're out sponsoring people, you will have an attitude where you're not intrusive, you're not being offensive, you're minding your business and understanding what the critical activities are, and so every day you're going to score yourself. I always say, number one, give yourself, if you're doing number one, give yourself 1 point if you're adding someone to the list. If you're setting appointments for presentations or making presentations, give yourself 2 points. When you're making recommendations, give yourself 3 points. And when you're following up, give yourself 2 points. With the objective of giving yourself at least 10 points per day.
That's good.
So even if you just did all adding people to your list all day long, you can score that with the objective of getting to 10. Understanding that making recommendations is a stronger level, so you got more points.
That's good.
And understanding that following up is stronger than adding to your list. And you can score that.
That's really
So
good.
now you're measuring your activity and understanding that your activity leads to your end success. Does that help?
Yes.
All right. So to that end, any questions?
I did.
Yeah.
The 3 to 7 touches make a recommendation.
Yeah.
What do you mean by the 3 to 7 touches to what does that mean? Can you
3 to
elaborate?
7 touches before someone gets to a yes decision. Exposures.
Okay.
So you might first get exposure to me where we just happen to meet each other at the bookstore.
Okay.
The next exposure might be me just calling you up and saying, how's it going? The next exposure might be me sitting down with you at coffee and finally telling you a little, asking you a little bit more about you. And number 4 might be me asking permission to share information with you.
And those go along with the get people to know, like, and trust you?
That's right.
Gotcha.
Right. Spend more time learning about the other person. Be interested more so than being interesting. What else? Yeah.
I can see that you your main thing is you want to add value to people's lives as much as possible. What is you mentioned that your greatest mentor is books and stuff like that. What would, when it comes to adding value to your life, adding people's lives, what's like the best book or best thing that you've come across that's taught you how to do that?
I made a recommendation. I said that a book that I've read over and over again has been The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. The reason that is of value to me is because it's about me. And so you can only add value as you are growing in value. So it's less about a book that has taught me that. It's just about the discovery of me and being clear about what my heart's intentions are. I posted something that says, those that know my heart don't have to question my intention. Those that know my heart don't have to question my intention.
That's good.
It's not a question about what my desire is. I've written it out. My desire is to live each day principle-centered based on biblical teachings and to be a person of value and positive influence. So every day, my scorecard is, did I add value? Was I today a person of value and positive influence? I'm checking my block right now by giving to you. If God takes me away tonight, I know that I've met my personal mission today.
That's good.
See, it's about having a compass. I'm not all over the place. I'm purposeful in all my interactions. I'm literally authentic in my outward givings. There's no salesman pitch to it. There's no technique to it. There's no, you know what I'm saying? It's real. And oftentimes, and how do I know it's real? Because I oftentimes ask people, I said, am I the same person that you see in video or that you read in a book or that you meet face to face? Am I congruent? Yeah. Am I consistent? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. What would you say personally that your biggest weaknesses are, and what would you do to make them better, overcome them, or something in terms of that?
Yeah, my personal greatest weakness has to do with not letting people know just how sternly I feel about them making a change. In other words, I know the value that comes with making certain changes in a person's life. And in spite of that, I find myself not pushing as hard as I could, just out of what I say is what I consider to be out of respect for them. But I've recently realized, I guess on February 26th, I was running in the morning, and I had a moment with God where I said, you know what, I'm running from an assignment, a leadership assignment. Whereas I know that I have something that I've got to share with the world, but out of concern for other people's feelings, I played small.
That's good.
That I've not done certain things because I didn't want to make other people feel a certain way. And ironically, I just came back from an event where someone that's a top money earner said to me that I made them feel like I thought I was better than them, and that was condescending. Now, this is a top money earner. Here I am with someone of lesser rank, if you will.
Yeah.
And what I said to them was, I can't make you feel any particular way.
Yep.
So maybe you need to ask yourself, why do you feel that way? And I said, so why is it that people that are of lesser rank are attracted to me, and we have a good relationship, but yet it oftentimes is people that have higher rank are unsure or insecure or feel a certain way.
Mm.
And then I also sent a quote to him by Eleanor Roosevelt that says, no one can make you feel inferior unless you allow them to. But that's an example of what I mean about why it is that I don't say, and I hadn't been saying all the things that I know to be the right things. Because I just didn't want to be labeled or kind of get into that whole thing of being out, you know. But the bottom line is, people want to talk about you regardless.
Right.
You know? Yeah. And so that's the area that I know that I've got to do better, like I said. But recently me and God had a talk, and I said, okay. And so that's why as of late I've been more vocal. That's why I'll do stuff like this, because all I care is I just want to attract the people that want to be, that want what I have to offer. I'm not worried about it. I believe that my circle will continue expanding, of that it will attract the right people, because in my new book, Life is Rich, How to Create Lasting Wealth, it is really about the fact that I truly have a desire to see people experience a rich life. No agendas to that. I want to see people win. And if I can give something to people to see them win, then in turn, I'm doing the right thing on a bigger scale. Now, of course, I want to win financially. I want to win with the recognition. I want all those things, but it's not my driver. Tony Robbins says that there are six human needs that we have that causes us to do whatever we do. Those 6 human needs are something like, certainty and uncertainty, significance, recognition, growth, and contribution. And there are 2 human needs that are your dominant. And my 2 dominant human needs are growth and contribution. And so I realized about myself is that I just want to impact people's lives. I want to be respected for what I bring to the table, and I just want to give. and if I'm in an environment where I'm not able to do that, then it doesn't fulfill me. You see? So I'm on a mission right now to, like I said, to give to Generation Y and to people that really want to go to the next level in their life. And in turn, trust the fact that through doing that, that leadership will raise up and will track.
I have one more question.
Yeah.
If you were to sum up, what's your best attribute in one sentence, what would it be?
I teach people how to think versus what to think. I teach people how to think versus what to think. I ask questions. Miguel will tell you, I don't lecture them.
No. It'll get in your head just by asking you certain questions.
Miguel asked me something tonight. Asked me something tonight. I said, so the reason behind that is because, see, if I tell you, you forget.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I teach you, you'll remember. If I involve you, you will learn. If I tell you, you forget. If I teach you, you remember. If I involve you, you'll learn.
That's
The
good.
process of asking you questions back is involving you in the process and letting you see that you have the answer within you, and all I've got to do is steer you so that you can think through it. It's called a Socratic method of teaching.
That's good.
And what was the third one?
If I involve
Yeah,
you,
you'll learn.
if I tell you, you forget. If I teach you, you'll remember. If I involve you, you'll learn.
So you obviously look at a lot of people to help them improve their lives. When you sit down with someone, what are like certain signs or things about them you notice that you say this person has potential to be great or this person is someone I want to invest in?
What they tell me.
They tell you?
See, I don't do this trying to read and I believe what you tell me and then what you show me.
Right.
Which means that I'm asking questions for understanding. Stephen Covey says in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, seek first to understand, then to be understood. Be interested. Being interesting. That goes back to, and again, everything we talk about, another greatest thing is I'm a principle-based person. I take concepts and I apply concepts across the board. It's not cookie cutter, because again, I'm teaching you how to think versus what to think. So that means I got to understand something in one element, and then I got to see how to take that, and I got to be able to apply it somewhere else. So that's why you have me just now name several different books of making different quotes come together, because I want to show you that they're just common threads.
That's good.
I got a question for you. It's kind of off topic. Let's just say we're in a scenario. You're the leader, and you've got teammates that say they want this. They say they're going to do this, but patterns and activities are the same. They're not congruent, basically.
Yeah.
How would you approach, how would you coach, mentor someone and say, listen, you're telling me you want this, but your actions aren't saying it. How would you approach that in the coaching
That's what I'll say.
session?
Has something changed?
Yeah.
Miguel, we sat down. Miguel, let me ask you a question. What is your goal for the next 90 days?
And
I'm asking you. What's your goal for the next 90 days?
Goals.
Financial goals.
You guys should make 15 grand.
Okay, Miguel, in order to make $15,000 per month,
No. Within the next 3 months.
within the next 90 days, so basically $5,000 per month. Okay, in order to make $5,000 per month, great, that's a great goal, Miguel. Let me ask you, how many hours per week are you willing to devote to doing that?
As many as it takes.
Miguel, we can't